Guys, this basically is a little workshop that I'm going to give you in the next half hour. A little over a year ago, we organized a workshop, a 3-day workshop at the European Journalism Center, basically training a number of print journalists to become TV reporters. And that was a process that, with the technology we used at that time, took 3 days and quite an investment, and we only managed to train 6 people because we had 3 sets of computers and 3 cameras. It was quite an interesting experience, but the same thing, and even in a better quality, we can do with the flip camera, which all of you received this morning. And the idea now is to train 80 people, 80 bloggers, to become TV journalists within 30 minutes. So we'll see if we can do that. I just want to check, did everybody receive his flip camera this morning? And may I ask, just for my orientation, who has made and posted videos on the web before? Can you raise your hand? So it's a little less than half. And who has never done anything with video on a computer before? Okay, you guys are going to have my special attention now, because I really want everybody, I basically do not want anybody to leave this room before you are able to shoot a video and go out for the session tonight. So you're going to have questions, I'm sure about that, but feel free to approach me afterwards. And feel free also to approach Bernd Cappeller of the European Journalism Center. He's the guy who is very innovative with video at the EJC. He's the guy who is also making it possible for several dozen people, maybe 100 or so, who are watching this conference live at this very moment via the web, via the Think About It website. Bernd, how many people were watching today?
I think here alone in the room, I think 20. What I saw from walking around, but in total between 30 and 40.
Yes. So it's, I heard somebody in Canada was watching as well. So people from across the world are doing this. What you find in the box basically is this little camera. You have a black one with the EJC logo. This is one that I use for my EUX-TV project. Shows you what kind of production budget I have for EUX-TV. And there's a few things in the box that you should take a look at. You find the camera. There's a little pouch. And I'd encourage everybody to use the pouch, to keep the camera in the pouch. It extends the lifetime of the camera, but it also keeps the lens clean. And it means it doesn't get any, there's no dust in it. There's also a cable in it. And this cable is not for charging. There's only one cable in the box. And that cable allows you to connect your flip to a television. There's an RGB plug on it for audio and for video, the yellow one. You plug it into the side of the camera, and then on pretty much any TV in a hotel or in a conference room, you can just plug it in and play what you've recorded. What you have is not just the standard flip, it's the high-definition flip, which means that the quality of this camera is actually better than what you normally see on TV. It's the MP4 format that is compressed onto a 4 gigabit solid-state memory. And that means you can record 60 minutes of video, 58 minutes to be exact, in a high-definition format. Now, some people will say, well, HD, that's not possible. You need very expensive equipment for that. Yes, that is the case. But keep in mind, there are 2 types of high-definition out there, if you're a bit technically adept. One of them is HD 1080, and that is the full HD. That's a really serious professional format. And the HD version that you have on the flip here is HDV, and that means it's 720 pixels. That's a very technical story. It doesn't matter. You can tell anybody this is a high-definition camera. 2 downs for this camera, according to my experience. The quality is extremely good, especially in bright daylight, but the quality deteriorates very quickly when there's not enough light. So keep that in mind. Filming in the dark, if something dramatic happens, you can film with whatever you have. You get mobile phone quality, this will help, but it's not going to be a really solid quality. But if you're filming outside in a sunny event and something of interest is happening, then you have a really nice quality. Also, there have been some comments already from on the microphone. You cannot attach an external microphone for this camera. And you may think, well, what's the use of it then for interviews? Keep in mind, the microphone in the camera works actually really well, but up to about 1 meter. You either need a very high volume environment, like a rock concert. You see a lot of people actually holding up a flip nowadays. That records it. But if you're doing an interview in a silent room and you're like 2, 3, 4 meters away from the camera, keep in mind that the quality of the audio will be very poor. The New York Times has written a rave review about this camera and says that even in busy, noisy environments like at receptions, you can still do useful interviews with it. And they were raving actually about the sound quality. But it just depends on how you use it. My experience is that if you are at receptions, like when I'm at receptions in Brussels and you run into people and you want to interview them and there's a lot of background noise, it works. You can, within a 1 meter distance, you can do an interview without any problems. The nice thing is it does not have any cables, except for the TV cable, which you may use or may not. But it has a USB port, and I'm sure that whoever has unpacked it has already figured out how it uses it. That's not where the story ends. If you install the flip into your computer, which I'm going to do right now, and which I hope will work, then it will automatically try to open the flip share software. It also opens iPhoto, and that's what I always have to close down. But this is basically the flip share software. It's already installed on this one. There's 2 versions out in the public. The version on your flip is version 4.1, and there have been some adjustments on the software. The latest version is version 4.5, and I've posted the link on my account on the Think About It website already, so you can download the 4.5 version automatically. The software works on Windows and on Apple. It does not work on Linux, but I think anybody working with Linux will be smart enough to figure out his own way of getting the videos out there. You can actually directly access the videos on the camera. I'd recommend, though, not to do that. If you can, import all the videos first through the FlipShare software. And as you can see over here, there's nothing on the camcorder at the moment, so I'm going to eject it. Because I'm going to go through the entire process of shooting a video, editing it, turning it around, and then uploading it to the website. So you'll be able to do that. This is Apple. The computer program always gets stuck when I eject it without using the formal eject function. So what I'm going to do in recording a little video, I just want to do an impression, basically with 2 shots. And keep in mind, you can save yourself, and this is a tip for any filmer using any camera, a professional cameraman or amateur cameraman, doesn't matter. If you just start recording like this and start walking around, you have a nice moving picture, and it gives you a good feel of an atmosphere where you are. And you can actually, okay, that was 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and you can post that clip to the website. But you have movement in it anywhere, and you cannot cut an in point or an out point. And it doesn't really help you tell a story. So my recommendation is that whenever you film with the flip, hold it still. Try to hold it with 2 hands, and go, for instance, when you film a room like this, you want to get a good picture of the size of it. Film it for 3, 4, 5 seconds. So that's one wide shot. I will do a close-up over here. 3 seconds will do. I will do a close-up of the speaker over here.